Good afternoon, everybody, and welcome back to the Super Smash Bros. Ultimate North American Online Open, October 2020. We just wrapped up Regions 5 and 6, and here we are for 3 and 4. Hope you guys enjoyed that little break. Maybe got a little snack. We used the restroom, grabbed some water. Of course, I'm Coney, and I'm joined by none other than the phenomenal. It's not even the phenomenal EE anymore, right?
It's
just
dude.
EE.
It's just EE. I'm basic. That's it.
Yeah, we saw Dialga take over Regions 5 and 6, able to win it against Null, despite Null barely almost making it look like they might come back, but Dialga was your grand champion. But now we've got a top 4 of brand new competitors who have made it all the way here through 1,200 other participants. And they are fighting for the Super Smash Bros. Ultimate North American Online Open October 2020 Grand Prize Trophy. But of course, no matter what, all 4 of our competitors will receive a top 4 prize. They'll get a trophy of their own. Let's take a look at the bracket as we get into this. And we've got some familiar names along with some new heads as well. When we look at these 4, is there anybody that really stands out to you, EE?
Well, I'm gonna go with Geo because I know he plays NESS, and NESS is just an online pub stomper. You know what I mean?
Question.
Like he he can just drag through the bracket, bro. So like I know there's obviously a ton of competitive players and talent in their bracket, but Geo definitely stands out to me just right off the first glance.
I totally hear you. Yeah, Geo is going to be a force to watch, and on the other side, he's actually going to be facing a Joker player by the name of Nub, so we're going to have to see how that match transpires. Meanwhile, on the other side, we've got Shu against Whiskey. Shu, a Mario player who has also played a lot of Zero Suit Samus. Now, Mario, playing him all the way to the finals and to the top 4 of something like this, what does it take for a player to make it this far with a character as seemingly simple as Mario?
Well, Mario, it's all about like what are those fundamentals at? You know what I'm saying? Like Mario is just basically, if you have those strong fundamentals, a good neutral game, like you can do some crazy things with Mario, especially when you're able to get in and create those openings, because Mario has one of the stronger combo games that you're really going to be able to just enjoy and play around with.
No question. Let's go over the rules really quickly, just so we know that everybody's on the same playing field. So this is a 4-player double elimination bracket, so you have to lose twice to be eliminated from it. Everything is best of 3 all the way through. There are no items, no final smash beater, and we have a curated list of 8 stages here. Things like Town and City, Smashville, Final Destination, Small Battlefield, Regular Battlefield, Kalos, things like that that you're going to see. And all these matches will be 3 stocks, 7 minutes, which is the standard competitive format. So I'm sure a lot of people are going to be very happy about that. No silliness here, no fun items, nothing crazy. It's just going to be raw, pure skill here today, EE.
Yeah, no doubt about it. And that's kind of, you know, that's what you want. You know what I'm saying? That's what you want. Like when you're a serious competitive player, obviously there's always different ways to kind of remix it up and add other fun mechanics. But for this one, just pretty much straightforward as you would expect from any kind of competitive Smash Brothers tournament. So big ups to Nintendo for putting this together. And, you know, for us to have, go back to back with the double headers, that's pretty sweet. And on their own time, I'd love to see Dialga and the winner of this. Y'all should play each other, you know what I'm saying? Y'all should play each other and see who really ran this Sunday for show. That's what I want to see.
That'd be fun to see, yeah. But I think we're gonna have to see who the champion of 3 and 4 is. But I think the first match that we're gonna see is gonna be Nub against Geo, and like we said before, it's gonna be Joker against Ness. And the first thing I think of when I hear about this matchup is, how difficult will it be for Joker to get back to the ledge against Ness? You talked about the buffs before. We see the yo-yo offstage constantly with that down smash. I think that's going to cause a lot of problems for Nub as he tries to get back if Geo can space it correctly, particularly when Arsene is on the board if he's trying to recover low.
Yeah, I think, and that's really one of the biggest things that this kind of Geo can just kind of take it, take to his advantage. You know, that's going to be really tremendous and huge, honestly, because the battles on stage are going to be kind of back and forth. But once you get them off stage, all that pressure you can kind of exude and all that, apply in a sense, and just kind of make it that much more difficult for him to get back safely could be the difference maker and honestly the key to victory.
So here we go. We're on Yoshi's Story. This is the first
we didn't see this stage one time last one, Coney.
Exactly. I was just about to say, we haven't seen this stage all day. We saw some Small Battlefield, a lot of Kalos, and some Smashville, but now it's time for Yoshi's as Pachyderm takes his stance in the back, trying to stop everybody from fighting, but Geo will not hear any of it as he racks up a lot of damage on Nub to start things out.
I think we're all I think everybody pretty much, if you compete in Smash, especially online, you know Ness is just such a debilitating character to have to deal with online. Like he is, and he's so he's got just that small, tiny frame too, makes him that much harder to kind of catch us sometimes, but he's just so good at just stringing those hits together, as Nub is finding out, already taking 102%. He has Arsene, but it's not really paying off by any. Gets bonked essentially on the head by that yo-yo, and see you later on that first stock. Easy play from Gio.
Just his little fingers on that one. I mean, I talked before the set about the use of that yo-yo off stage, but I didn't think it would go like that, as Gio just kind of taking off that index finger and Nub, and gonna send him down careening into that ocean beneath the stage. Gio with a hefty lead to start things out, and is really just running all over Nub early on.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, we were told, prior to this match, the pronunciation is Nub. Well, he's playing like a noob right now. I'm just gonna keep it real. The way Gio has come out, and he's just kind of throwing these haymakers right off the bat. Oh my goodness. He gave Thunder into the up there. See you later. 2-stop lead at the moment for Gio. He is not playing around. My man Nub has got to step it up.
I'm wondering if this is another case of somebody that's just got to tear through the bracket as quickly as possible. Somebody who's trying to not waste any time, you feel me? Just trying to make it all the way to Grands quickly. Gio is just tearing through Nub here. Only 85% with 3 stocks. The pace has slowed down just a bit, I think, as Nub is sort of trying to take his breath and collect himself, as Gio is just throwing out these aerials constantly. NESS is just on an all-out assault.
Yeah, pretty much, man. And it's just been kind of crazy. Like, you just see from Gio, the spacing has been immaculate, and just the lack of respect for even when Arsene is on the board. He just continues to just throw out those hits and those shots and continue to bring the aggression right to Nub's face, who really, I mean, he is just kind of desperate at the moment just to even get the stock off, just have some semblance of an opportunity to bring this match back, because it is all but lost at the moment.
Oh.
Even a counter not enough to get done.
Yeah, that might have been the last vestige of the way to get back into this game, man, because it felt like that was a dying breath. Unfortunately, Nub just not able to land that counter. It is difficult because you could get crossed up by NESS with that up B, but you see Gio just so evasive, like you said before, able to use that small frame of NESS. Nub finally getting his hands on him, but doesn't have the KO from a throw. 147 on Gio. He's just not giving it up.
Jeez, 157 after the hit, and still he will not be. Is that it? Oh, it is. And not only the stylistic, but what a statement with the 3-stock opener from Gio. You asked me, Coney, who am I keeping an eye out for? I'm keeping both eyes out now for Gio, okay? My Lord.
Yeah, no question. I mean, Nub there at the very end, you can see the desperation, the frustration starting to seep in. Says, I need to get this stock off. I don't care if you're at 147. I'm not waiting for you to get back on stage. I'm going to stop you. And because of that, Gio was just able to burst himself right through him, careen into him with that PK Thunder 2. And Gio putting himself ahead 1 game on Nub. Not losing a stock yet in this set, which is nuts.
Yeah, I mean, that's the way to start off, right? It's all about, we always talk about, like, how do you want to kind of start off your tournament run, especially when you're in a top 4 situation like this. And it looks like Gio, he just told us in quite the most emphatic way possible right there. Our first seeing of Yoshi's story making its appearance, on the screen throughout the day. But man, that was not the story to tell. It was all about Gio, and that's actually going to force Nub to bring out one of the swordsmen in Violet. Okay.
Yeah, I'm a little, I gotta be honest. I didn't know if the Joker was ready, but I'm not sure about Byleth. My experience seeing this character and this matchup in particular is pretty limited, so we'll see if Nub has anything new for us, or if Gio is just gonna advance on to winners finals with 1 more victory.
Could be the fact, I mean, you look at Byleth, obviously a character with just like some, I don't know how to really just describe, like, I think some good utility, which could aid in just maybe trying to kind of slice through NESS's defenses. I mean, oh wow, that was a heck of a down there. I love that right there. So already you can tell just maybe even more of a comfort pick here for Nub going against NESS in the fashion. Tried to use that range as well to perfection, but Gio just able to narrowly escape. But already just right off the bat, that Violet obviously proven to be more formidable than what we saw last time with the Joker.
Yeah, I think it's a lot more range, honestly. I think that Violet actually just is able to pierce through what NESS tries to do a little bit easier. So if you try to go for the PK Fire, if you're constantly throwing out aerials, I think that Violet's hitboxes will sort of go through that a little bit more. Nub is succeeding a bit. Oh, wow. succeeding more than he did in the first game early on. The up B will not make it, and already Nub is able to take a stock off for the first time this set in the second game. We'll see if Gio has a response.
Love what I'm seeing right now from Nub. And really, there was almost like no hesitation in the quick swap that we saw, because Byleth did appear on that screen pretty quickly after the Joker was easily dispatched with him. This Byleth, just getting that good amount of range, being able to, as you said, Coney, pierce through a lot of what NESS is attempting to do, is clearly paying dividends at the moment and could be what takes us to a game 3. So maybe that custom 2-0 start we might get a little too comfortable seeing is not going to be the case. And a little flub on the recovery. We know that happens for, NESS and Lucas players every now and then, but seldom do we see it at this high of a level. So Gio, love him now. You don't want to give up any free stocks. You don't want Nub coming in getting any kind of confidence, but I think that's what he's finding at the moment.
That was an unforced error, too. I mean, Nub didn't do anything to force that. Gio just off stage and goes a little bit too far out with the PK Thunder and is going to lose his life over it. Meanwhile, Nub doing a great job of holding advantage. Hasn't gotten much damage off. You see the neutral air into the dash attack. Nub has to find a way to close out this stock now, or at least to get a lot of damage so that he can close it out quickly later. Seems like he's on the right path here, as Gio is starting to reel a little bit.
A lot of big swings coming out from Nub. He knows the percent he's out. He's looking to maximize this damage that he can get, especially with a stock that could be fleeting any moment at 147. Gio, meanwhile, on the other side, is just like, please, can I get this stock off and get myself an opportunity to just do some of these custom NESS strings and combos to get myself back in this fight. Far removed from that first game, we saw Nub just looking like a different beast, certainly with a different character and a different approach that pays off. The 2-stop is going to end game 2.
No hesitation.
Huge aerial there, no hesitation, says Byleth, and I have to agree, Nub with that huge aerial catching Gio off on the side, and NESS can be a little easy to hit out there just because the second jump is very telegraphed. A lot of NESSes will try to be a little tricky with it because it is a little bit slower, but it can be very easy to sort of wait out and then go for the hit. And you saw Nub just not even waiting. He just throws it out, perfectly places that aerial. And because of that, he's going to make it a game 3. So already not a 2-0 sweep across the board.
And there's layers to that too. Like, it's not just the fact that he was able to win that game 2 simply by picking Byleth. He was able to keep himself so well engaged even after getting 3 stock, even after getting blown up in front of, thousands of people watching right now. He's just like, you know what? It's not a big deal. It happens. Okay, that wasn't the character for me. That wasn't my game. Keeps himself well engaged and forces this third game. And honestly, just given how that second one went, you gotta almost favor Nub to kind of maybe just take this set, despite Gio starting things out so blazingly.
Yeah. I have to see as Gio doing a lot of damage early on, which I think we come to expect from NESS. Huge combo from Nub, using the Byleth bread and butter into that up B. Well done. Gio trying to respond back here. Very even match starting out, and I definitely think this Byleth switch was the right choice.
I couldn't agree with you anymore. And especially that, you're kind of keeping it back in your mind too, like as you pointed out, that unforced error on the recovery. But there's still a lot of pressure that was coming well before that as well. So for Nub, like, he basically needs to just kind of repeat the game plan. And it seems like that's what he's doing, just kind of whipping and just tossing Gio across the stage, trying to get him off and just using this range that Byleth has, cracking the shield and certainly securing that stock. My goodness, Nub. Take it easy.
Goodness gracious. You see Nub just taking it away, making sure that Gio knows it was not a fluke that second game. I mean, Gio did lose that stock due to the SD. Very unfortunate. Nub trying to take one game all on his own. Doesn't fall into that up B from Gio trying to launch himself at him. So Nub, as long as he can hold on to this stock, I think he's going to be pretty secure in his path to winners finals, as long as he doesn't fall into anything crazy.
Absolutely agree with you. It'll be a big grab. It's going to go for the forward throw. Nice stalling himself a little bit, does Nub. Very smart. Gonna make the most out of this. Wait, what?
Yeah, I think the grab got broken and he sort of pushed him into the air. Weird interaction. I've never seen that, but I've seen that millions of times. Huge back air there. Well done by Gio.
Gio still with an opportunity to pick this thing back up, but man, you gotta credit Nub. Like, he is just not slowing down on the aggression whatsoever. Nope. Man is playing possessed out of his mind at the moment, and it's paying off big time. Gio got left in the tank. Okay, starting to get some strings together. This is where NESS can excel, but just swatted away. Again, that range of Byleth against NESS, so important and so useful.
Yeah, it makes sure that the forward air isn't as much of a threat. And because the neutral air is just so stubby as well, it's a lot easier to sort of threaten Ness, even if your intention isn't to actually hit him, just to sort of put the fear into him so that he knows that he can't just constantly drift in. Lands that aerial there, gonna get knocked by the Thunder, barely able to make it back with the very tip of that up B.
Both of them going for some haymakers there towards the end on the right side of the ledge, looking to secure these stocks. Naruto's hustles higher percent, so it can be the case. What a confirm from Gio to get that KO. Wonderfully played. Was playing from behind and now in the lead ever so slightly. Very fragile stock at 132, but certainly Ness the character to really make something pop here, even in a state like this.
Oh, getting knocked by the arrow. Yeah, close though. All right, we're on game 3. Final stock for both of these competitors. We'll have to see who wants it more, as right now Gio is running all over Nub. You can see him not landing the actual Thunder, but hitting the tail of it, and now Nub is reeling. He cannot get back to the stage. Gio just taking the up B again and again. Nub finally finds his footing.
More than obvious that Gio has found this momentum and he is trying to run away for it. Nub was in the driver's seat from the beginning, got the mean switch game 2 that allowed him to get the 2 stock, but Gio has come roaring back in this 3rd game and snatches victory right back from Nub to complete the victory. 3-1 to open us up.
So much momentum shifting in that set, too. I mean, you saw the seesaw back and forth. Gio was so strong at the beginning in that game 1, and then Nub started to bring it back, and then Gio SD'd, and then Nub was ahead in the 3rd game, and then Gio was ahead, and then you saw that. I think the game was decided. If we have the play of the week, the play of the game, whatever we're going to call it, that fight on the right side of the stage, I guess we're mirrored. On the right side of the stage over there on PS2 where Nub couldn't make it back, so much percent gain there.
That was crazy, man. Good stuff to Gio. And honestly, good stuff to Nub as well. Just having the confidence just kind of switch into the Byleth and not be faded at all what happened in that first game. But Gio was determined. He was able to weather that storm, and he earned that victory. Good stuff all around, man.
Let's kick it over to the bracket. Obviously, Gio will make it to our winners finals. But meanwhile, we've got a whole other side as Shu and Whiskey will be facing very shortly. Nub, of course, not out just yet. We'll drop down to the loser semifinal. We'll have another chance at glory. Gio is going to be waiting in winners finals for the winner of our next set, which is going to be Shu against Whiskey. Shu, as we talked before, a Mario main, was the number 2 seed and went 2-0 all the way through, but has played in plenty of real offline, just actual in-person events that we've seen him at before. Has played a lot of Zero Suit Samus as well. Name EE that neither of us are too it's not too new to us.
And it's good to keep in mind Shu too. Like I think in the notes I saw he beat Arrow as well. And we know Arrow was somebody who's represented the regions previously in the past. So certainly no easy road to get to this point. So Shu taking out some well-established guys on his path to this top 4. So I think he's going to have a whole lot to say. And obviously, like I said, with Mario, a character that just really rewards you being so fundamentally sound, I think he's going to put up a heck of a fight for Whiskey.
Meanwhile, on the other side, Whiskey, a Robin player, was the number 2 seed in his side, went 2-0 all the way through. Robin, a character who I think succeeds especially in this sort of environment when you're constantly running into new opponents and new parts of the bracket that you may not be aware of, or opponents that you may not be ready for. I think Robin really excels against people who don't really understand the matchup.
I'm glad you said excels and people don't understand the matchup, because as a character, this character is not excel. This character is very slow, and I don't mean like I don't mean in a bad way, like you said, the character is bad, but definitely like some speed is not on Robin's side. So being able to kind of manage your resources, your tomes and stuff, things of that nature becomes so crucial. In a lot of spots, you kind of know when to pick your battles. Like, when do I kind of back off a little bit, and then when do I kind of push it as I am allotted? But here's the thing with Shu. We knew he did have this pocket DSS, but already just bringing it out, maybe to just try and have that kind of that rush down ability and not let Whiskey get comfortable.
I think so. I think that Mario, character without any huge weakness, I think the biggest weakness is just how stubby and how much you have to constantly run forward and try to... And I think Robin is pretty good at keeping him out just between all the spells, between the disjointed smash attacks, but it seems like he's having no problem with the Zero Suit either, as Whiskey draws first blood, taking that stock pretty early, only 30% here on the first one.
Yeah, Zero Suit with zero chance on that first stock. My goodness. Okay, Whiskey. And, you said yourself, the characters like Robin, not the most common in an environment like this. You could really kind of maybe take advantage of the fact that somebody might not exactly be prepared coming into this one. And I think that's what we're seeing from Whiskey right out the jump. Good stuff though from Shu.
Wow.
The retaliation is starting to come, but the response from Whiskey turning an interesting predicament into maybe a favorable position. It's gonna go high. Oh no.
Oh, a bit of
flubs on both sides.
Yeah, flubs on both sides there as Whiskey is the Shu had a punish and then Whiskey had a punish and then Shu actually landed the punish. Excellent work by Shu. Evening it out, honestly. I mean, 39 is not an insane amount of damage, especially considering the character that Zero Suit is. Does seem like Shu is really struggling to get on Whiskey and stay on him here.
Thing obviously in much better position though for Shu, looking for the big extension, tries to pull the trigger. Wrong game, buddy. That's not going to work here. But you know what? I do admire the attempt. No doubt about that. You got to try and pick and choose your spots. So definitely Shu trying to make the most out of that. As we see charging up. Again, Robin being such a heavy resource-based character. Oh no, you can't do that.
Yeah, not against Robin, not against. I was wondering, I was like, what's the punish on this? And Whiskey, he had the punish ready 3 steps ahead, true to Robin form, just was ready for it. You saw the I almost said PK fire, still got NESS brain. You saw the arc fire right into the up smash, but Shu with a response, the zap into the up smash, well done on both sides. This is just constant sluggers back and forth.
This is so interesting to me because it's we're seeing several situations where it seems like Whiskey should be so far ahead, but Shu is just right there hanging on in a lot of these predicaments where you would not think it would be the case. Like right now, I'm expecting Whiskey to kind of be up 80%, but no, it's neck and neck on this final stock. The opener on Kalos, a lot can go wrong at the moment, but for Shu, despite that rocky beginning, he has picked it up and he is still coming, just bringing this fight to Whiskey.
Look at him go. You see the back throw there. Whiskey has Shu off stage, going to try to retreat with that flip kick. Excellently done, making it back to center. Whiskey, catching that one though. Has to be a little bit more careful. You can see Shu maybe getting a little bit too comfortable with these flip kicks, and Whiskey is punishing it for it. The up smash will not land, but the pressure on the shield, Shu is struggling.
Seriously, coming through with these attacks with neutral Bs, a lot of things can go wrong for Shu. He's got to be careful. Tries. That could have been a clean setup for the execution on that final KO, but Shu 121 gets back to the stage safely. But Whiskey still in the driver's seat. The back air gonna close it? I think so. Whiskey, excellent job right there.
A little work by Whiskey to take game 1 against Shu. Shu with the Zero Suit pick. I think that it is better off against Robin in a lot of different circumstances, but you saw, again, how he got maybe a little bit too comfortable at certain points using that flip kick, getting punished over and over and over with those hits. And I feel like Robin is just so good at punishing those openings that Shu sort of left for him.
Absolutely. So that'll be interesting to see. Like, will we see the ZSS again? Because honestly, that was a close match, right? For Shu, I wouldn't be deterred off of that. Or will the Mario make an appearance? Okay, there's a couple different ways that Shu can certainly go about this. For somebody who made the comment, Nintendo branded, okay, I'm sipping the right stuff, all the water, okay? You gotta stay hydrated, okay? Like our competitors should be doing as well. So good stuff to open up regions 3 and 4 and Kona. It just doesn't seem like the hits are stopping anytime soon, man. We had some crazy stuff in the last one with Min Min, and now we're seeing Ramen. Like, this character diversity in brackets are insane.
I love seeing the amount of characters that we do. I mean, last week for the previous finals, we saw Meat Brawler, we saw Wii Fit Trainer, we saw Ice Climbers, who I know, I mean, you and I don't get to see very often at all.
Not
so
at all.
It really is a treat to be able to commentate on these guys. And it looks like Super Mario is out for this next one. Whiskey against Shu, and we're back to Kalos, which I don't think Shu would have won, honestly.
Yeah, I mean, and that's kind of crazy too, right? Because you have 8 stages to kind of pick from. You don't assume you're going to go back to back, right? That's kind of the one thing you're trying to avoid, especially in a non-favorable position. But you know the old adage, man, it is what it is. So you kind of got to play it as you do. Obviously, Mario, again, going to look for getting in close to Whiskey and not allowing Whiskey to maybe feel like have enough time to kind of manage those resources, set up as comfortably as they would like to be, with Shu's ability to just try and get in there and just pressure and style any way he can, as Mario is known to do.
I think one of the issues is that he's going to have a lot of trouble getting up air into forward air, those strings off stage, and also these ladder combos, because of the nature of Kalos' platform layout, he's not going to get as much as he could off of something like Battlefield or Yoshi's Story, and because of that, I think Whiskey sort of lucked into a much more favorable stage on this on Kalos. For this next game, and Shu seems to be struggling because of it. He's got to land these KOs. He's got the forward weird DI from Whiskey, gonna get knocked out of that, but does not get the strong back air. And now Whiskey able to fight his way back.
Just barely able to get through on that recovery, and that's one good thing that Shu was trying to do, like just kind of put a lot of pressure on that as well, understanding that Robin can run out of the resources to make those recoveries very potent and very effective. As we see a big time up smash from Shu, just what he needed. But what do you make out of this? Now is the time to kind of strike. Obviously, again, no hesitation from Whiskey, man. He, like I said, this guy's really good at kind of picking and choosing his moments, but Shu trying to force him into a very uncomfortable position. It's just back and forth action right now with Whiskey. He's narrowly gaining the advantage.
I think one of the issues is that Shu has to land. Oh, wait. Oh, he was a little bit too low, but Whiskey forced to recover, and it's going to mean Shu is going to be able to make it back as well. Oh, wait. Is he going for it? No. Okay. I was going to say, is he going to go for the forward air? Not quite. And I think Shu had it locked into his brain a little bit too long. Goes for the forward air there. It's not going to land. And I think that if they're trading hits, Whiskey is going to be winning because Shu, he needs to land like 5 or 6 hits to be able to win these trades, as opposed to Whiskey, who really just needs to hit one hit of that Levin sword. He's going to do so much.
Yeah, that Levin sword, obviously, we're going to cover some damage as well. Yeah, that Levin sword, when it is powered up, when it is pumped, it's got that electricity behind it. You already know that's some big damage to follow. Those hits, it's just a little more impactful. No doubt about that, but I'm gotta say right now, it's looking like this 2-0 could be a possibility. Again, Whiskey maybe lucking out a little bit, able to go to Kalos again, especially when Shu brings out the Mario, but nonetheless, you play the hand you're dealt, and he is playing it right now. Some pocket rockets flying out of here, and this is looking like it could be all but the done from Shu unless he can close out this stock ASAP and not let things get too far out of control.
It's going to be tough. You can see him going for these up smashes. Yeah, and Whiskey not giving him the roll in. One thing that I've noticed a lot today are competitors rolling in to their opponent there. Wait, he jumped. Yep.
I didn't think he did, but he must have. Oh, that is tough. That super jump punch is like, it's hard to interrupt, but it doesn't have the distance, right? Like, that's a negative behind it.
That's one of the issues. Like, and I don't know, it registered in my brain a little bit late, but I saw it as soon as the up B came out. I was like, wait, I think because you see that little flash under their feet when they jump. And Shu, unfortunately, getting stuffed out a little bit because that Whiskey will advance on with the Robin. Like we said before, Robin was able to 2-0 their entire way through the bracket. Now looks like there's no stoppage there. We're gonna see Whiskey against his opponent Geo coming up very shortly. On the other side, we got Nub against Shu. Let's take a look at the bracket very quick so we can get updated on that. We've got Byleth and potentially Joker against Mario or Zero Suit down in the losers semifinal. We're going to have to get prepared for that very shortly. But in the winners final, Geo against Whiskey, 2 players from Mexico. Looks like it's going to be NESS against Robin. And I feel like Shu picking Mario tried to go for something like a reflector against Robin's projectiles and all the energy-based projectiles. But I think NESS may be a little bit better suited to face that.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, when you just think about like all that percent that you have an opportunity to kind of recoup from what, obviously all those projectiles that Robin does like to toss out, that's something Gio's going to be kind of like salivating at to an extent where it might even make him more comfortable just kind of rushing in and trying to apply a lot of pressure, because you tend to take some damage where you're just like, okay, there's always going to be that opportunity where I can make it up. So even to an extent, Whiskey might have to play a little bit reserved at certain portions of the match where otherwise he'd be more inclined to kind of just keep his foot on the gas.
And Robin isn't a character, so there's some characters that can sometimes opt to use less projectiles, try not to do as much. So like Wolf is one of them. You can use that blaster all the time, but if you're against the character that either absorbs them like Game & Watch or somebody that actually heals from it like Ness or Lucas, I think as Wolf, you have strong enough normals that you can sort of get away with it. You'll be fine.
Absolutely.
I don't know if Robin is one of those characters. I think the projectiles are so sort of part and parcel with Robin's kit that I really could see Whiskey struggling here against Geo.
I think it's gonna, and the problem with that too is like when you bring up a great point with like Wolf, like for you not using the laser gun there, that's just like a simple just like turn it off. That's not, it's the projectile is just like kind of ingrained with how you pilot Robin to great success, right? Like you need all those tools in this character's kit, in this character's arsenal. So for a lot of those tools to kind of betray you in a sense where like your opponent is able to kind of absorb and benefit off of that, it's going to be interesting to see how Whiskey is able to kind of mitigate that deficiency he's going to be dealing with, because it is not going to be easy, especially Gio is clearly showing that he knows exactly what he's doing on his side of the sticks.
No question. So Gio against Whiskey, Robin against NESS. Here we go into the first game. Down at the bottom, I was going to say at the bottom, it was saying Kalos, and that's where we're ending up. This is the preferred stage of the day, both in regions 5 and 6, and now 3 and 4. We are seeing this one a lot.
Kalos is definitely, making his appearance, making his presence. No doubt about that. So if you're kind of waiting and you're starting up for the next match, maybe that's where you want to have your training room sessions. Go ahead and take it to Kalos, because that's what you can expect about 70% of the time at this rate. But either way, we'll see. Obviously, still some of those problems that we highlighted are still going to be very prevalent in this matchup. But Gio, obviously knowing that, I like what Gio's doing here. Looks like starting off pretty aggressively, trying to take the fight right to Whiskey, who's not backing down though on his side there with the percent lead. And you're going to see a lot of arc fires, a lot of PK fires, a lot of high octane explosive play coming your way at the moment.
You can see Gio not really absorbing much Whiskey, really being a little bit more judicious in terms of when he's actually throwing the projectile. You can see him doing it when Gio is in a bad spot, and they're actually baiting out the magnet with that neutral air. Excellent work by Whiskey, punishing Gio. You can see Gio now off stage. Whiskey going for the down air. Big risk for no risk for a big reward. Doesn't get anything off it, but I'm sure he thinks that's just fine.
I have to imagine that is indeed the case. Whiskey, wow, seriously, okay, this is really like not going any way I thought it would go. Like obviously Gio came out just swinging, for the fences here, but Whiskey has really just kind of turned fortune back on his side and just really not allowed it to be any kind of case of absorbing. Actually using his think tank of thinking, okay, I can get some percent back, some recovery here, and using that against him. We certainly saw that be the case of taking care of that first stock and then just slicing through him on that second. Whiskey has yet call it corner, bro. This one is looking wrapped up in game one.
Yeah, you might want to throw in the towel. NESS, you might want to call your dad, pick up a phone and get him to send you some money, because right now you're going to need to pay for some hospital bills on this one. 83% on Gio. Whiskey feeling so confident to go out there because he has 3 stocks. Why not? The back row finally will do it. The NESS Classic, but Gio has so much work to do. And Robin is not an especially easy character to stuff out their recovery. I mean, you can get a lot of 3% from knocking them out of the up B, but you don't really get stocks from it. Just like maybe 30 or 40% if you're lucky.
You have to be, like, you have to kind of understand, like, you're just working for percent. You're not necessarily working for the stock in those situations, right? So, and I think most Robins understand it, just like, because they feel like when they get back to the stage, they have as good a chance of any, just kind of bring it back and still clearly get the job done. Oh, my Lord, but that was nothing pretty. Oh, Lord.
You saw the range on that, too, right? That down air cut right through the up air. Whiskey just making a statement with that, said, no, there's no way you're making it back to the stage here. Just Whiskey tearing through Gio there.
Yeah, and it's actually interesting too. There were like some spots where Whiskey was playing and he was like content with just letting Gio absorb some of that percent, right? Like you saw him throwing out projectiles, like not shying away from it in a situation where we were just like, okay, we're already at 60 last percent. I'm just gonna hit you once, boom, you're back to 80. I'm not worried about that. Like he knew he was gonna close that out regardless. So I think that's why he was just like, it doesn't matter right now.
and to your point, I did not see it going that way, honestly. I thought NESS, with his speed, with his aerial just ability to constantly stay in, that Whiskey was going to have a lot more trouble keeping Gio out. But honestly, no, that didn't happen one bit. Not at all. Nope.
Yeah. All right, so let's see. Gio gonna stick. Oh no, Gio mixing it up a little bit. The shit coming out. Interesting. And it's so like, how good do you have to be? How good do you have to feel on Whiskey's side to know a character that benefits from everything you do by absorbing projectiles was deemed not good enough to go up against you in game number 2? Like, if I'm Whiskey, I'm feeling ecstatic about that. I don't care what stage I'm on. I'm feeling ecstatic about that.
Yeah, you could see a little bit of comfort here as he reads Gio's rolling Whiskey. Just again, the tactician magician here with that. Oh, no way. Okay, I was gonna say, if he normal gets up right into that, that's a huge boon for Whiskey. Oh, okay, goes for the grenade. I guess that was intentional, but he's gonna eat that back air, and 3 stocks to 2. Whiskey again is just playing with Gio's mind here in a way that Gio is just, I don't know, man. Anything Gio does is getting punished.
Yeah, pretty much. And it almost just, I don't know if Sheik was the right play here. And I'm not saying that to throw any kind of shade by any means, but it just seems like, are you in a situation where you just honestly just don't know what to do against Robin? Because again, I believe you highlighted, like, didn't you say Whiskey like pretty much 2-0'd everybody on their way to this top 4? I mean, it seems like nobody knew what the heck to do against this character, and the trend continues because Whiskey is just obliterating the competition as Gio's struggling to land, charge up some needles, but just getting swatted away.
And I think the problem with Sheik is a very, I don't know. I feel like if you're going to go something against Robin, I don't think Sheik is the play. I think you're going to get in on Robin so rarely that you need the boom. You know, you need the big slam as soon as you get in. You need some kind of big whoosh. And Sheik doesn't do that. You're going to rush in, and you're probably going to get a lot of damage. But if you ever make one mistake, you're losing your stock. Like Whiskey slams him back down into Smashville.
And I love the, like, it's not just the attempts at Whiskey too. It's the fact that Whiskey actually hits those quite frequently, right? Those meaty down airs that just stifle you and just put you in, like, it's just so, oh my goodness, almost disorienting. It's like, all right, well, you know, pretty much out here. All right, Bouncing Fish able to meet him at the pass, give him some form of opportunity, maybe spark some amount of offense. She can really string it together at these lower percents. Obviously, as his character has evolved, like the ability, you know, the KO confirms have obviously improved as well. A lot of Sheik's been putting time into helping advance that meta, but it doesn't really matter when you don't have the percent to back it up. And 22 is not something that I'm sure Whiskey even batting an eye at.
Yeah, no question. And I think that Sheik is great at locking down characters who sort of struggle, sort of like Robin. I think she can lock down Robin in shield, can constantly sort of assault on the character's shield and keep out hitboxes between the needles and between dash attack and dash grab and the constant threats. But I think Whiskey is just too strong and it has too much stage presence, honestly, for Gio to really make anything happen. Whiskey with another 2-0 to claim his spot in the grand finals.
Yeah, and that, I mean, and there was just no doubt. Like, there was just no doubt that Whiskey was going to go ahead and just 2-0. And you know, you're putting yourself now in grand finals. Like, all you got to do is do that one more time. Like, you know what I mean? All you have to do is, all the pressure now falls on our remaining 3 competitors. Like, can somebody kind of rise up to the challenge and at least force a second set of grand finals like we saw with, in the case of Dialga and Null in our previous bouts for regions 5 and 6, but that's a tall order to ask because my man was looking untouchable.
Yeah, it's going to be tough. I mean, Whiskey was just looking so much stronger, really, than either of his earlier opponents. Let's take another look at the bracket as Whiskey has found his way into grand finals. Let's take a look at the losers side. So Nub and Shu will be facing off next. Winner of that will go on to the losers final against Gio, and then everybody's fighting for that shot at Whiskey in grand finals. So Whiskey going to take a bit of a break. Gonna have a couple sets to just have a quick snack, maybe chill out a little bit, and hopefully not get too cold. Sometimes you do see players in grand finals sort of lose their momentum a bit, and Whiskey certainly has a ton of that. So Nub against Shu is going to be our next match. Like we said before, this is maybe a Joker against either a Mario or a Zero Suit coming up shortly. Pretty conventional characters, you know.
Could very well see the Byleth as well too. There's definitely a couple different layers to how this one can go. So I'm excited to see that. And apparently we'll get that on the other side because we got to take a quick little break. So you guys don't go anywhere. We'll be back with some more Smash action on the other side.